You want to know one skill that can give you a quick, serious boost on your ACT science score? It's this one. So today, we're going to master unit conversions, and I'm going to show you exactly how to turn this common little trap into your own secret weapon.
Ugh, we've all been there, right? You totally get the science, you've read the graph perfectly, you know what's going on, and you still get the question wrong. And you're sitting there wondering, why? Well, a lot of the time, it's because of a tiny, tiny detail, a hidden trap that has absolutely nothing to do with how well you know biology or chemistry.
And that's the thing. The people who make the ACT, they know you're smart. So what they do is they test your attention to detail. They'll give you information in one unit, say millimeters, but then ask for the answer in a totally different one, like meters. It's a classic move, and today we're going to learn how to see it coming every single time.
So, how do we outsmart this little trick? We use a game plan. Let's walk through this 5-step strategy that's going to turn that moment of, uh-oh, into pure confidence on test day. Here it is, your 5-step strategy. Now, this isn't just some random list, you know. Think of it as your mental checklist. It's going to guide you through every single unit conversion problem you face. We're going to break down each step, but you can already see how this gives you a clear path from the question straight to the right answer.
Okay, let's start with the first 2 steps, because honestly, they're the foundation for everything else. Before your brain even starts thinking about numbers, I want your pen to be moving. I mean it. Physically circle the unit you're given in the chart or the passage, and then circle the unit you need in the answer choices. This one tiny habit, it stops so many careless errors in their tracks.
All right, take a good look at this slide, because this is most of what you actually need to know. The ACT isn't going to ask you to convert like furlongs to fathoms or something weird. They rely on these basic building blocks: millimeters to centimeters, grams to kilograms, seconds to minutes. You've got to know these by heart.
And hey, here's some great news for you. While there are a few ratios to remember, there is only one formula you need to memorize. That's it. Celsius to Fahrenheit. If you see a temperature conversion, this is your go-to. Seriously, don't waste your brain space on anything else.
Okay, now this is probably the most critical part of the whole process. Step 4. How do you know whether to multiply or divide? Just remember this simple rule, okay? If you're going from a smaller unit to a bigger one, like millimeters to meters, the number itself has to get smaller, right? So you divide. And if you're going from a big unit to a smaller one, like meters to millimeters, you're going to need a lot more of them, so you multiply. Small to big, divide. Big to small, multiply. Got it?
And that brings us to our final step, which is kind of like your conceptual safety net. Look, converting the units changes the numbers on the side of the graph for sure, but it doesn't change the story the data is telling. If a line on a graph is going up when it's measured in Celsius, it's still going to be going up when you measure it in Fahrenheit. The trend always stays the same.
All right, we've got our strategy down. Now, let's step into the danger zone. Because knowing the strategy is one thing, but knowing how to dodge the common traps is what's really going to make you a master at this.
Okay, mistake number 1, without a doubt, is mixing up when to multiply and when to divide. This almost always happens when someone's rushing and they forget that direction rule we just talked about. So say it with me. Big to small, you multiply. Small to big, you divide. Just burn that into your brain. And here's another classic trap. The question asks you to go from millimeters all the way to meters. Your brain sees 110 and it kind of short circuits. Don't let it. Just recognize, okay, this is a 2-step problem. First, I'll go from millimeters to centimeters, and then I'll go from centimeters to meters. Write it out if you have to. And look, we're circling back to this because it's just that important. Don't let the new numbers trick your brain. If a question asks which variable increased the fastest, the answer is going to be the same whether the data is in seconds or minutes or hours. The relationship, the story, it doesn't change.
All right, enough about the dangers. Let's talk about building some winning habits. These are the pro tips, your final checklist to run through before you walk into that test.
Okay, so this slide right here, this is basically the whole game plan in a nutshell. I want you to think of these 5 things as building muscle memory. Make them automatic. You always circle the units. You write the ratio down right next to the question. You check for multiple steps. You recite the direction rule in your head. And you trust the trend. That is how you make this whole process foolproof.
So after all that, what's the one big thing you should take away from this whole explainer? Well, it's a simple, repeatable formula for success.
This is your new mantra. Every single time you see a question with mixed up units, this process just kicks in.
First, identify what you have and what you need. Then, convert, using the right ratio and the right direction. After that, do a quick check to make sure your final units match what the question is asking for, and then, only then, do you pick your answer.
And listen, that is the absolute truth. The ACT isn't testing your ability to do some crazy advanced math here. It's testing your ability to follow a careful, logical process while you're under pressure. If you can master this simple process, you can nail these points every single time.
So really, the only question left is, where are you going to start? Are you going to grab a practice test right now and hunt for these questions? Maybe you make some flashcards for the ratios. Don't just, watch this and forget about it. Go use it. Go turn this knowledge into actual points.